Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we'll be reviewing Port Adelaide AFL Fantasy for 2023, as they have a couple of players that should increase in price and be of value in the classic game. Remember to like and subscribe, as more content will be coming out this week as I return to hopefully a video a day to try and get through all the AFL teams before close to the time that the practice matches start. Now on to the players. First up here, Ollie Wines averaged 98 in a post-Brownlow season. Getting back here. 2021, he averaged the 112. 2022, averaged 98. And he came home strong. So I think he's an option for people. I just think there's probably a better option out there. But at 802k, could he be that M4 that you need? Like in my team, I have Rowbottom at the moment, but I can almost get up to Ollie Wines. But also you have to factor in, will he return to that? Will he return to the 120s, 110s on the regular, with the introduction of Rosie and Butters to the midfield and potentially Horne-Francis? I do think he still will, because he did average 120 with both Rosie and Butters in the midfield. So I think he can average 120 again. Or not average 120, but average 105, 110 in a midfield. So, oh no, he's actually priced at 866k, so probably not, actually, now looking at it. Travis Boak, 95 average, 21 games. He's getting too old to put up a fancy-friendly role, in my opinion. So I think that will just slip down to probably 90, 88, somewhere around there. So, and then moving on to Dan Houston, 92 average. And he's one to actually look out for, because can he get the start that he had? He had a 150 to start, a huge number. And then 71, then really inconsistent. Then another good run here, inconsistent again. Another good space here, 116. And then a good finish, good 2 games to finish the season. Can he return to that form? I think he could return to that form, but you also got to factor in that Port are probably going to be better this year, meaning Dan Houston probably won't get as much of the ball, but then again, defenders find a way to get the +6s anyway. So if he's able to get the marks that he can get here, he should be able to get that good, as he averaged almost 6 marks a game, 5 and a bit marks a game. So if he can get 5.5 or so marks a game, then he's probably, in my opinion, going to stay around that 92 or so. But can he get up to that 98, 100? He could. He could start the season really well or really bad. I'm pretty undecided on Dan Houston. I just think there's probably more consistent value in other players. We got Zach Butters here. The problem with him that I have, and that I picked Rosie over him, was just he's more injury prone. If we go down here, he had a good finish to the season, but he had this 44 in 25% time on ground, so pretty decent. He also had a 55 here. He's had a couple of 80s, a 60, a 34 here, which I think was injury as well. It might have been his illness game, 78. So if he's around the centre, if he's in the centre, it'll probably average low 90s to mid 90s, so 92, 95. But if he's not in the centre, which I doubt that will happen. I think he will take more of a midfield role. Then he will. I think he'll average 92, 95. But I think there's a real case for Rosie going and averaging 100 here, going and stepping up his game and being a full-time mid. And you got to take advantage of him potentially not being a forward in the future and just being a solo mid where you can get that forward status. Like he had a 21, 48, 54 to start and a 55. He averaged like 45 in his first 4 games. And then he averaged 98 post that and averaged 102 since the bye and something like 105 in his last 7. If those numbers don't scream that he's going to go up to that 100 or so, I don't know what will, because he's consistently put up better numbers here and he's only going to go and get better. So if you take out that first 4 games, he averages 98. That's a 10-point improvement already on a premium guy. Premiums I'm looking for, if it's not the top end of just needing to have them, then I'm looking for 5 or 10 points unders for them. So the likes of, only really in my team I have Josh Dunkley and probably Tim English that are going to be players that I'm like, I just have to have them. Other than that, I see 5 or 10 points improvement in all my premiums here. And Rosie is one of them that could easily go 10, 15 upside. Now, a lot of these guys are just sort of, I don't think their role will change. They'll average 70, 75, maybe 80 or so, but they're not going to do well. Then you come down to Scott Lysette. 4 games due to injury last year. He's 5% owned. The thing I have with him is that in 2022 he averaged 72. He had no injury games. He just had a shocker, and then a couple of 90s, and then another shocker here against Melbourne. So I don't think he'll get that 85, 90 that you need from him to be able to be a solid R2. Because he hasn't really ever averaged enough for that case. He's always just been a low 80s type of player when you need him to be a high 80s, early 90s player. So I just don't think it's the best pick. Now moving on, there's no one more interesting. A lot of key position players here. And then you get Jason Horne-Francis, who this one would be a massive gamble, and 13% of people are doing it. Because I don't think he can average much. I think he could average 70, 75. But with the players that I have around that price, like Dom Sheed, even Callahan, who's much cheaper, Wayne Malera, Tony McLean, I have those guys pegged in at 80, 85 scorers. So for him, I don't think he's an 80, 85 scorer here. So there's not enough value for me in Jason Horne-Francis. He's probably going to be that guy that I miss out on. But it's a risk there's risks that you have to take. You're never going to be able to produce the perfect team. You're never going to be able to be like, I got the top scorer in every single team, every single round. And so Jason Horne-Francis is a guy that I'm willing to take a risk on, because I have a feeling he's going to take up that last midfield role. He's going to be either on a wing, the last midfield role, or he's going to be up forward. So he's not going to be straight mid like the likes of all the other guys are. So that already limits his scoring. And I think coming into a new team, he might just struggle a little bit. Then you have a lot of these guys. I heard Xavier Dersma come up in a couple names. 55 last year, 72 the year before. Don't think maybe he's the one that takes up that extra midfield role, but I just don't see him. He's probably going to be on the wing, I think, from reports. So I just don't see him going that well. Then you have a lot of these guys, again, just not really much value in any of these guys. And then you come on to my team. I talked about Rosie, and then you got Josh Sin down here as well, who's going to be playing, I think, alongside Dersma on the wings. If he is, then he'll blow that 36 out of the water. Plus, it's also priced him at under 30. It's around 26 or 27. So 26 or 27, he might average 60 or so on the wing. I think 60 is a little bit unders, but it's a safe number for him as a wingman. 60, 65, somewhere around there. And that is great value. That should get him. You could probably get him, leave him in your squad till he gets to around 500k, and then basically take that 500k, downgrade him to 200k, and then upgrade someone like a Malera or someone like a Will Phillips or someone up huge to get them, because Will Phillips will probably be 500, 600k by that time. Josh Sin, 500k. You add those up and you get 800, 850k, and then you can get up to a premium player. Okay, that is my Port Adelaide team review for 2023 AFL Fantasy. Remember to like and subscribe, and more videos will be coming out as we progress up the ladder in terms of AFL Fantasy team previews for 2023 season. And hopefully I can get back to a daily upload. So remember to like and subscribe, and to watch all the other previews, go up to the playlist over there, and to watch all my team reveals, go to the playlist also up over there. Thanks guys. Goodbye.